Before we begin, take a moment to breathe. If you find value in stories that blend human emotion with timeless wisdom, consider subscribing to the channel. Your presence here supports mindful content in a noisy world. Now, let us enter the story. Have you ever fallen for someone so magnetic, so intoxicating, that they seemed to light up your world, only to leave you shattered, questioning your own worth? The lover who promises forever, but vanishes without a trace. The friend who lifts you up only to tear you down. The boss who praises your brilliance but steals your shine. Why do these people keep appearing, like shadows you can't escape? In Buddhism, they're called your karmic mirror reflections of your unresolved wounds, drawing you into a cycle of pain until you learn to see clearly. This is the story of Mia, a woman caught in that cycle, and the wisdom that set her free. A story of love, betrayal, and the path to breaking free from narcissists. Mia was 32, a marketing manager with a laugh that could fill a room and a heart that loved too fiercely. She met Ethan at a rooftop bar in the city, the kind with fairy lights and overpriced cocktails. He was tall, with a disarming smile and eyes that seemed to see straight through her. Their first conversation felt like a dance, witty, electric, alive. By the end of the night, they'd exchanged numbers, and Mia's heart was already racing. Ethan swept her off her feet. Late-night text turned into marathon phone calls, his voice smooth like whiskey, promising adventures and a future together. Their dates were a blur of passion dinners at candlelit restaurants, stolen kisses in alleyways, nights tangled in his sheets where time seemed to dissolve. "You're different," he'd whisper, his fingers tracing her skin. "You're the one I've been waiting for." Mia believed him, her heart soaring, her body alive with desire. But cracks appeared. Ethan's grand gestures gave way to mood swings. One night, after a fight over a canceled date, he turned cold, accusing Mia of being too needy. When she tried to explain her feelings, he smirked, saying, "You're overreacting. Maybe you're the problem." His words stung, but Mia swallowed her pain, desperate to keep the spark alive. The sex was still intense, a fleeting connection that made her forget the hurt until it didn't. One morning, after a night of whispered promises, Mia woke to an empty bed. Ethan was gone. No call, no text, no explanation. Ghosted. She stared at her phone, tears burning her eyes, wondering what she'd done wrong. Broken, Mia turned to Chloe, her best friend since high school. Chloe was an influencer, all glossy hair and curated charm, always ready with a bottle of wine and a listening ear. "Forget him," Chloe said, hugging Mia tightly. "You're too good for that loser." Mia poured out her heart, grateful for Chloe's support. But something felt off. Chloe's compliments had a sharp edge. "You're so strong, Mia, even if you always pick the wrong guys." At parties, Chloe would steer conversations to herself, leaving Mia feeling small. When Mia shared her pain, Chloe's eyes would glaze over, as if bored. The betrayal came at a friend's birthday bash. Mia overheard Chloe gossiping in the kitchen, her voice dripping with glee. "Mia's such a mess over that Ethan guy. Honestly, it's pathetic. She's always chasing drama." The words hit like a slap. Mia confronted her, voice trembling. "How could you say that? I trusted you." Chloe rolled her eyes, unfazed. "You're too sensitive, Mia. I was just joking. Why do you always make everything about you?" The room spun. Mia left the party, her chest tight, realizing Chloe had never been her friend, just a narcissist feeding off her pain. Work was no refuge. Mia's boss, Victor, was a charismatic executive, 40, with a reputation for brilliance and a temper to match. He'd singled Mia out early, praising her campaigns with a smile that made her pulse quicken. "You're a star," he'd say, his hand lingering on her shoulder during late-night strategy sessions. The attention felt intoxicating, especially after Ethan and Chloe. But Victor's praise came with a price. He'd take credit for Mia's ideas in meetings, then charm her with apologies over coffee. "You know I value you," he'd say, his voice low, eyes locked on hers. The flirtation blurred lines, leaving Mia torn between ambition and unease. The breaking point came during a high-stakes project. When it tanked due to Victor's reckless decisions, he blamed Mia in front of the team, his voice icy. "You dropped the ball, Mia." "I expected better." Humiliated, she stood frozen, her ideas stolen, her loyalty betrayed. That night, alone in her apartment, Mia quit her job, her savings dwindling, her confidence in tatters. Ethan, Chloe, Victor, why did she keep attracting people who used her, then discarded her? She hit rock bottom, desperate for answers. In Buddhism, there's a teaching: the people in your life are not accidents. They're your karmic mirror, reflecting the parts of you that remain unhealed. The narcissists who hurt you, lovers, friends, bosses, aren't just villains. They're messengers, showing you where your inner work lies. The Dhammapada says all that we are is the result of what we have thought. The mind is everything. Mia's mind, shaped by years of seeking validation, drew her to people who mirrored her deepest fear, that she wasn't enough. The Four Noble Truths illuminate Mia's suffering. First, suffering exists. Her heartbreak, betrayal, and shame are real. Second, suffering arises from attachment to Ethan's love, Chloe's approval, Victor's praise. Mia clung to these external sources, hoping they'd fill the void within. Third, suffering can end. By facing her pain with awareness, she could break the cycle. Fourth, there's a path to liberation. The eightfold path of right understanding, intention, and action, grounded in mindfulness and compassion. Why narcissists? They're drawn to people like Mia, whose empathy and insecurity make them easy targets. But Mia's role wasn't just victim. Her need for approval, her fear of abandonment, her suppressed anger, these were the magnets pulling narcissists into her orbit. In Buddhist terms, her karma, her actions, and inner state created this pattern. To change it, she had to change herself. Here are 3 ways to break this cycle of attracting narcissists, drawn from Buddhist wisdom and Mia's journey. 1. Cultivate self-compassion. Narcissists prey on self-doubt, but self-compassion is your shield. Begin with loving kindness meditation, or metta. Sit quietly, breathe deeply, and repeat, "May I be happy. May I be safe. May I be enough." At first, Mia felt silly, but over weeks the words sank in, softening her self-criticism. She started a daily practice. Each morning, she'd look in the mirror and say, "I am enough." This rebuilt her inner strength, making her less vulnerable to external validation. 2. Set boundaries with awareness. Mindfulness helps you spot narcissists before they sink their hooks. Pay attention to red flags, love bombing, manipulation, or a lack of empathy. Mia began journaling after every interaction, noting how people made her feel. When a new date showered her with compliments but ignored her boundaries, she saw the pattern and walked away. Practice saying no without guilt. Start small, like declining extra work, then build to bigger boundaries, like cutting off toxic friends. Awareness gives you power. Point 3. Release karmic patterns. Resentment ties you to narcissists even after they're gone. Forgiveness doesn't mean excusing their behavior. It means freeing yourself. Mia tried a Buddhist-inspired ritual. She wrote letters to Ethan, Chloe, and Victor, pouring out her anger and pain, then burned them under the moonlight, visualizing the ties dissolving. She also forgave herself for staying too long, for ignoring her intuition. This act of release lightened her heart, clearing space for healthier connections. These practices take time. Mia stumbled some days. She missed Ethan's intensity or Chloe's charisma. But consistency reshaped her karma. She attracted kinder people, a supportive colleague, a grounded partner, a friend who truly listened. Her mirror was changing. Mia's story isn't unique. You may see yourself in her, a lover who broke your heart, a friend who betrayed you, a boss who dimmed your light. But you're not doomed to repeat the cycle. Your karmic mirror is a teacher showing you where to heal. Start small. Try one practice today. Meditate for 5 minutes. Journal your feelings. Forgive one wound. The Buddha taught that liberation comes from within. Look into your mirror and choose to see yourself clearly. If this story touched something within you, share it with someone who may need it too. Subscribe for more narratives where ancient wisdom meets the struggles of modern life. And remember, sometimes the greatest clarity comes after we lose everything we thought mattered.